If you want to be world class at something, the chances are it will be approximately 7.631 seconds before somebody says, "Oh, you need to practice 10,000 hours to do that." I mean, really? 10,000 hours practice and immediately I'll be world class? Is that really true? This goes hand in hand with the belief that when it comes to achieving success, many believe it is down to a plethora of complex activities intertwined with some sort of secret formula. Well, thankfully, it's quite simply much simpler than that. When success is the objective, breaking down the goal into smaller parts is the first step. What previously felt like an overwhelming endeavour can fast become really quite more manageable. It is within these smaller constituent parts that the real work really begins. But not in the way that you were probably thinking. The Special Forces have adopted a saying originally by ancient Greek poet Archilochus: "We don't rise to the level of our expectations, we fall to the level of our training." This implies that when the going gets tough, we revert to what we have learned and subsequently trained for. I mean, that's why the Special Forces place such an emphasis on their training. It is quite literally their lifeline. For those of us not in mortal danger, we should still apply the same approach though. I mean, if everything we do is made up of lots of little actions, we should decide which of those actions are most important and then focus on them. For example, if you are a salesperson and being punctual at your next appointment is critical to your success, you should become world class at being on time. It sounds silly, but this is entirely in your control. I mean, the repetition of going through the training yourself to arrive at each meeting 5 minutes early, which really means not leaving the house at the last minute, will become second nature. Then on the days when everything goes completely wrong, you can rely on yourself to become on time to your meeting, appointment, or collecting the kids, or whatever it might be. You don't have to think about it. It just comes naturally. If making your bed each morning is an integral part of the day, then you should become world class at bed making. I mean, in fact, at Sandhurst, the British Army does exactly that. There are certain activities we all need to do to perform at our best, whether it be sports, business, teaching, or parenting. These activities underpin our ability to achieve excellence. Don't forget, excellence is a relative term, as it's not a way to compare yourself to others, but to give yourself a focus on being the best you can be. So in your situation, does success for you rely on being on time? Become world class at being punctual, being fit. Become world class for you at the gym, being knowledgeable. Become world class for you on your subject, being a great parent. Become world class again for you on spending quality time with your child or children. Now, you don't actually have to become world class, but the principle applies all the same. It is the performing of basic tasks in a world class manner that will elevate the chances of success. So what are world-class basics in the context of business, which is a world in which I operate in, whether it be in a particular team, department, or organization, you may ask? Well, to be honest, everyone will have an opinion on it, but here is my take. Business basics would fit reasonably well into the following 3 areas. Number 1, structures. A simple, clear business direction or purpose that everyone in the team, organization, department, across the whole firm can understand and is aligned with. These are core business processes which are defined and have clear roles that are allocated to manage and work these processes. Fundamentally, visible measures of these progress and success indicate that they are being communicated clearly and regularly. Number 2, skill set. The required knowledge around the market, the environment, competitors, and your product is available and a usable format. I mean, the core skills that are needed across all different parts of the business, these have been easily identified, recruited for if necessary, and then further developed. I mean, a comprehensive, rigorous and ongoing strategy exists for our people to practice and develop their core skills. Number 3 is all about mindset. So the organization and individual focus is on the elements that can be controlled or influenced so that people are not diverted by things that they cannot control. Being able to ignore something that you cannot control actually goes wider than just the business context, because it is all about letting go of those things that you can't control. Worry about what you can control, apply mitigant to it, let everything go that you can't. Because these expectations of individuals and teams that are clearly communicated by a senior team or team member, that really sets the tone through doing what they said they would do. I mean, these are required behaviours and the results which are constantly recognized and rewarded in order to create an environment that people and teams wish to be a part of, all wrap up to be part of the mindset that you're striving for. Of course, these are just my perspectives from nearly 2 decades worth of working in leading and management. I mean, there will probably be a slight variation depending on your company type or your geography or the industry you're in, but I believe that this is certainly a good place to start. Now, world-class basics was a principle that was established by the world-renowned rugby coach, Sir Ian McGeechan. Now, it is in explaining that success is not that complicated that he came up with this theory. Through coaching rugby at the highest levels, he identified that the ability to do the basics, even under the greatest of pressures, led to increased success. Now, I would highly recommend checking out the High Performance podcast with Jake Humphrey, where Sir Ian McGeechan talks to him about this, and quite simply, I mean, it's a fascinating podcast. If you want to know how to operate at the highest levels, whether it be through Christian Horner in Formula One, Toto Wolff, any of the Olympians, it is a highly recommended podcast. As Sir Ian put it, when someone needs to know what to do to improve, I want them to think about who is the best at that task, and then ask themselves, what would they be doing in this situation? Then do it, whatever it is. That's it. Identify the tasks which are crucial to your success and focus on those. Become the best you can at them. It won't be easy and will ultimately take time, but it will be worth it. Whatever your goal is, good luck. I know you'll be great. Now, there is no excuse for you not to go and be world class. And that's it. If you like this video, please do check out this one here where I talk about how being vulnerable is showing leadership at the highest levels, because I think you'll find it really interesting. But with that, have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Cheers.